Finally. Hamilton was finally released on Disney Plus yesterday. If you somehow don't know what Hamilton is, it is essentially the most popular musical right now. It came out in 2015, and this is the pro shot recorded in June of 2016 at the Richard Rodgers Theater in New York City. Through hip-hop and rap, it tells the story of one of the founding fathers of America, Alexander Hamilton, and his rise and fall. Now, I'm a massive Hamilton fan. I've been listening to it for about 11 months, yet I know every single word to every single song. I was especially excited because this was supposed to be released in theaters late 2021, like October or something, and then they made the decision to move it to Disney Plus on July 3rd, yesterday, and now we get to sit in our living rooms and watch Hamilton in beautiful 4K HDR. Now, why is Hamilton so great, you may ask? Why does everyone love it? Well, there's one reason in particular. The main reason is Lin-Manuel Miranda. He wrote the music, he wrote the lyrics, and he also starred as the title character, Alexander Hamilton, and his performance is outstanding. It's probably the best part of it, and that's hard to say. It's hard to say the best part about Hamilton because there are no bad things about it. Everything could basically be the best part. My favorite aspect is Lin-Manuel Miranda. Something I noticed while watching the bootleg, but also here too, is that there's a transformation in the way that he sings in between Aaron Burr, Sir, and the song My Shot, the second and third song of the show. In Aaron Burr, Sir, when he's talking to Aaron Burr, Sir, he sounds very nervous. He's like, "Pardon me, are you Aaron Burr, Sir?" and saying stuff like that. It's a blur, Sir, stuff like that. He's talking fast, of course. Burr says, talk less, smile more, but still, he's talking fast, he's very nervous. You can hear it in his voice, but throughout the big rap, at the start of My Shot, you hear his voice transform and he gains confidence. And then a few songs later in the song Farmer Refuted, his confidence is just all the way up here and it is great. Let's actually talk about something quickly, and I'll use Farmer Refuted as an example. Now, a lot of people have actually listened to the album only, but they haven't visually seen it, and actually visually seeing it elevates a lot of the songs. For example, Farmer Refuted is a lot better because you understand that he is basically reading over what Daniel Seabury is saying, and then he's trying to change it and saying that, but you might not have got that while only listening to the album, and you get a bunch of little jokes in it where Lafayette kind of pushes him towards him, and then Aaron Burr moves him back, and then Hercules Mulligan and him both shove him back. Stuff like that. You get little jokes like that which you wouldn't hear on the album. Hamilton got the treatment that all great musicals should, and that is that this is a pro shot. This is not a movie adaptation. Sure, there are some musicals that would work as a movie adaptation. For example, Dear Evan Hansen is becoming a movie soon, which works. But in the context of Hamilton, seeing that as a movie would basically not work at all. We get the original cast here, and it is a pro shot with insane close-ups, trust me, wide shots and dollies and some crane shots and some shots in the audience. And they really try their best and succeed at making you feel like you are there, watching it live. Lynn said they spent 3 days, though, 1 day on all the close-ups and stuff like that. And when I mean close-ups, I mean close-ups. And then another 2 days on some dolly shots and some crane shots here, and they also put cameras in the audience for a performance. The editing is so smooth because sometimes they cut to the beat of the song, but other times they leave these longer shots that are in the audience, or at least they're wider, so you can see everyone dancing in the big dance numbers like Yorktown, and they leave them, and it really adds to the experience. But let's talk about the performances again. Leslie Odom Jr. as Aaron Burr is so powerful. He timed everything perfectly. His dynamic with Hamilton is outstanding here, and his wait for it is one of the best scenes in the entire show. Now, it is one of the best songs, but if we're talking about scenes, this is one of the best. It is shot so well. The emotion on his face is crazy. I actually think that he's the one who sounds the most different here compared to the album because he puts more energy into his voice. Daveed Diggs as both Lafayette in the first act and Thomas Jefferson in the second was probably my favorite besides Lin-Manuel Miranda as Alexander Hamilton, but he just has so much energy here, and you can tell he's having the time of his life, and songs like What I Miss. He is hilarious, and it also goes with that visual thing I said before. There are some times where Aaron Burr walks on stage and he looks around like, where did he come from? And it's little jokes like that that Daveed pulled off perfectly. He is just so well cast. Blindspotting is my favorite film of 2018. I think he's going to play Sebastian in the Little Mermaid live-action remake, and he's in the new show Snowpiercer, which I want to see, so his career is just getting started. And if he manages to top this, I'll be impressed. Just the speed at which he raps at in songs like Guns and Ships is crazy. Philippa Sue was also fantastic here. Burr is just so powerful, and her dynamic with Hamilton is just outstanding. There are scenes where her and Lin are just, they're crying through the song, like full out sobbing, especially Lin, yet you can still hear what they're saying, and it sounds great. Her burn is just really, as I said, powerful, but there are so many moments like Helpless is just so energetic, but she also has these really energetic moments and then these really sad moments, and they don't feel overacted. Anthony Ramos was also a big standout here as John Lawrence in the first act, and Philip Hamilton in the second act, which I love because In the Heights, the movie adaptation of it, stars Anthony Ramos, and he plays the character that Lin originally played because it's another Lin-Manuel Miranda musical. Like father, like son. He is great in both roles, and I love both his duels, and he has so many little things he does which really elevates his performance, and at times he is hilarious. Alright, that's what I'm talking about! I think the best vocally were Christopher Jackson as George Washington and Renee Elise Goldsberry as Angelica Schuyler. They are, oh my god, they blew me away here, even better than what's on the album. And the album is fantastic, but this is why live theater is important, because there's so much more emotion you can put into it, and these two really show that. Christopher Jackson especially in One Last Time was amazing, and it's hard for me to pick a best song by Renee Elise Goldsberry. I always forget which comes first for her last name, but I think I'll have to go with Satisfied. She actually kind of raps pretty fast there, but also sings these insane notes. Now, Big Oak. I'm not going to try to say his name because I don't know how, and I think it was in Hamilton's America, the Hamilton documentary, or somewhere where I saw him say that a lot of people called him Big Oak because they couldn't pronounce his name, which makes sense because I'm not even going to try because he's just fantastic here. But he played Hercules Mulligan in the first act, which is just so badass. It kind of sucks they had to censor his one thing, but the censors, there was only really two. They weren't really in your face about it, which was good. They was just kind of muted slightly. And he also plays James Madison in the second act, and his dynamic and the way that he kind of, well, like partners up, but like just him and Daveed Diggs in so many scenes were just so great together. Their dynamic and partnership, I'll say, was awesome. And finally, I can't not talk about him. You know who I'm talking about. Jonathan Groff as King George III, or Jonathan Groff and his spit, because trust me, there's a lot of it. I think he is probably the most entertaining part. He only has like 10 minutes on stage. I mean, all of his lines are great, but one of my favorite parts is at the end of his final song where he just laughs and then he starts dancing along to the Adams administration, and you see Leslie Odom Jr. look at him and he just tries not to laugh because it's hilarious. But this is a perfect example of why you need these close-ups in these musicals, because there is so much, as I said, emotion in a different way with him, though, and spit. That too. I'll stop obsessing over the performances now and talk about the actual music, and the way that Lin placed little sounds like the before some of the duels, or at least something bad is about to happen, is very smart, and the way he foreshadows with lyrics when you listen to Dear Theodosia and then you listen to Blow Us All Away. Think of that. There's so many little details inside of this that as you watch more of this or listen to it more, you pick up on all the little things, and that's what's so great about Hamilton. From the character writing to the performances, to the perfect cast and crew, to the energetic dance numbers, to the heartbreaking moments, and to the speed at which some of these actors rap at, Hamilton is one of the best musicals ever made, and it's one of the best pieces of entertainment or art ever created. It's perfect. I'm going to give Hamilton an A+. I have to do a spoiler video on this sometime, but I don't just want to have me sitting here talking, so I'll figure out a different way to do it. And if you haven't already checked out my actually most viewed video, which is also a Hamilton video where me and my friend Ella rank all the songs in Hamilton, we did that back in December. Check that out, it's almost at 1,000 views. Pretty sick, I know. But make sure to come back in a few days to see that spoiler review, spoiler talk, spoiler discussion, whatever it's going to be called. And this is one that I can recommend to everyone, even if you're not a fan of musicals. I know people who aren't big fans of musicals or don't even like musicals at all that actually love this show. That's how great Hamilton is. And if you've seen it, tell me what you thought in the comments down below. What is your favorite song, and what other musicals do you want to see get this treatment of this actual pro shot with these close-ups, audience shots, crane shots, dollies, any of that? Tell me what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.